Assalamualaikum dear students, hope you all are doing well. Let's begin by imagining this scenario. Suppose you are walking down the street and you notice two major mobile phone brands, that is Samsung and Apple, displayed side by side at a store. These two brands dominate the entire mobile phone market and each one has its own share of loyal customer base. Now you look at the price tags. They are similar. Then you notice the features. Though there are some differences, but the core features are quite similar. Then this thought hits you that the decisions these two brands make directly impacts the choice you are going to make about the product to buy and how much you are willing to pay for that product. My dear viewers, this thought or curiosity brings us to our today's discussion topic, that is a very interesting market structure studied in economics known as the oligopoly. This is Soeda Shagin Akhtar, lecturer of economics at the School of Business, Bangladesh Open University. Today we are going to discuss about oligopoly and its key characteristics. This content has been covered from your Microeconomics course bearing the course code PBA 2307. You know, this program has been specially designed for the BBA students of Bangladesh Open University. But the students of MBA and PMBA can also benefit from this content. Now, before we jump into our today's discussion, I would suggest you to keep a pen and papers before you in case you might need to make some necessary notes during the video broadcast. And if you face any problem regarding the topic, you can contact your designated course instructor from School of Business, Bangladesh Open University. So, let's start with a plain working idea. An oligopoly market structure is a market structure with few large firms where each firm holds a significant share of market sales. Since there are few firms, each firm decides its price, advertising policy and even the timing of launching the product while both looking at the consumers and the rivals. Whereas in the other hand, in perfect competition, each firm takes the market price as given, and in monopoly, one firm or seller sets all the pace, and in oligopoly, it sits just right between these two extremes. The rivalry is real and every move invites a counter move. That's why, my dear students, oligopoly is often referred to as strategic market. You can see oligopolistic market patterns in smartphones, soft drinks or automobiles. And in many countries, it can be seen in industries like telecom and airlines. My dear students, the twist of the oligopoly is that the firms involved in it don't act in isolation. Every firm anticipates the move of the other firms and then react accordingly. But why is this case? And what makes oligopoly different from perfect competition and monopoly? Let's understand this through discussing the key characteristics of oligopoly. The first and foremost characteristics of an oligopoly market is that there are few firms and these firms are large, each firm holding a significant portion of the market. If we take the automobile industry as an example, then we have big players like Honda, Ford, Toyota, each one controlling a significant portion of the market share. The second one is the barriers to entry are significant. High startup costs, technological advancement, patent, regulation and access to distribution makes the entry harder for new firms. If the entry were easy, then it would have attracted so many firms that the profit in this market structure would have competed away. Instead, economies of scale and reputation holds the ground for the incumbents. The third one is that in an oligopoly market structure, the products produced by the firms can either be homogeneous like steel, oil, or it can be differentiated like soft drinks, automobiles, etc. In some oligopoly markets, the products are so similar that the firms compete on prices, and in other cases, the firms compete by product differentiation through branding, advertising, and customer loyalty. The fourth one is that the firms involved in oligopoly market structure is strategically interdependent, and this is perhaps the most exciting feature of an oligopoly market structure. Let's take a quick example. Suppose Apple releases a new phone with breakthrough features. Then Samsung might rush to develop a phone with similar features to stay competitive. It's a constant game of cat and mouse where each firm is reacting to other firms' move. And this brings us to price rigidity, a hallmark feature for many of the oligopolies. Since there are few firms and each firm knows about its competitors, the firms are often very reluctant to change the price. For example, if one firm decreases the price, then the other firm would follow the suit, which would reduce the profit as a whole. The demand in this case is less elastic, and this would ignite a price war where everyone would hurt. And if a firm increases its price, then the other firm would remain steady, leaving the price setter losing the market share. So, in case of these scenarios, the price often tend to remain stable, but the firms involved competes constantly. But here is the kicker. The firms in an oligopoly sometimes engage in collusion. That is, the firms secretly set the price or lower competition. A collusion is harmful because it hurts the customers. A classic example would be the OPEC cartel, where the oil producing countries coordinate the production level to set the price and maximize profit. A collusion is said to be harmful because it leads higher prices for the customers and it reduces competition. Think about the gas prices. If the oil firms increases the price, then the consumer would have left with no choice but to buy from them. In real world, not all the firms involved in collusion. They just simply move strategically. They compete on prices or through product differentiation to maintain their market dominance. But even then, the firms can involve in tacit coordination. For example, price leadership, where one firm sets the price and the others quietly follow. This is hard to prosecute because there is no written agreement or signed document, but on the outer surface, the outcome is similar: higher prices and more price stability. So, my dear viewers, is oligopoly good or bad? Economists answer this as it depends, and this is not a dodge. The downside of oligopoly is that higher prices, fewer choices and high barriers to enter in the market. The upsides is product innovation, more funds available for R&D. So, my dear students, we have come to the end of our today's discussion. To sum up, oligopoly is a market structure where there are few large firms, and the firms involved in this structure can either produce homogeneous products or differentiated products. The firms can sometimes engage in collusion, making the market manipulative. Dear students, we see oligopolies everywhere, whether we realize it or not. Their decisions impact our everyday decisions. So next time when you find yourself confused between choosing two products from two brands and wonder why the prices are same and features are also similar across the board, then the influence of oligopoly might be at work. Dear learners, thank you for joining me today. I hope today's session has given you a new perspective on how strategic decisions of the firms influence our day-to-day life choices. To enhance your learning, I would suggest you to read the Microeconomics ebook available on the Bangladesh Open University website, or you can also read the Modern Economics book by H.L. Ahuja. And if you face any problems or have any questions, you can reach out to us at the email address deanoffice.sob@gmail.com, or you can also mail us addressed Office of the Dean, School of Business, Bangladesh Open University, Gazipur 1705. Until then, keep thinking about how businesses interact and how their interactions affect the market we live in.